afternoon. I'm Millicent Walker. Tonight, Supreme Court validates Ahmed Makarfi faction of the PDP's legal challenge against appeal court ruling affirming Ali Modu Sheriff as party chairman. Apex Court to hear case on Friday. House of Representatives move to calm anxiety, rules out possibility of military intervention in present-day Nigeria. Our series on 2 years of the Buhari administration begins today with a focus on the presidency. And US President Donald Trump visits Israel, vows to stop Iran developing nuclear arms. On business news tonight, ahead of the conclusion of CBN's MPC meeting, Nigeria's foreign exchange market receives over $200 million intervention.
While on sports news, 8 matches produced 13 goals on day 1 as season 9 of the Channel's Kids Cup goes international.
And from Abuja, police anti-robbery squad in Anambra cuts down kidnappers in gun battle, rescues victim unhurt.
We begin with the Supreme Court reserving judgment in the leadership dispute in the People's Democratic Party between Senator Ahmed Makarfi-led Caretaker Committee and the Ali Modu Sheriff-led National Executive Council of the party. The decision of the Supreme Court followed the hearing of all appeals on the judgment of the appeal court, which upheld the leadership of the Sheriff-led National Executive Council. The Makarfi-led Caretaker Committee had approached the Apex Court seeking to upturn the judgment. Our correspondent Amaka Okafor reports.
In the court were members of the Senator Makarfi-led Caretaker Committee and the Senator Ali Modu Sheriff National Executive Committee of the People's Democratic Party. Lawyers to the two factions presented their cases to convince the court of their position. Counsel to the Senator Sheriff-led leadership, Mr. Akin Olujimi, in his submission, asked the 5-man panel of the Apex Court, led by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onoin, to dismiss the suit filed by the Senator Makarfi-led group, challenging the judgment of the appeal court, which declared Senator Sheriff as the national chairman of the party. According to him, the Makarfi-led faction has lost all authority to file the suit or act in the name of the People's Democratic Party following the appeal court ruling. On his part, the counsel to the Makarfi-led faction, Mr. Wole Olanipeku, urged the court to dismiss the objection on the ground that the objection is incompetent and is lacking in merit. He told the court that Mr. Akin Olujimi had acted on behalf of Senator Sheriff at all stages of the case, from the lower court to the appeal court, so he cannot say he did not know who his clients were representing in court. He told the panel of justices that until the final court in the land, which is the Supreme Court, makes a pronouncement on which of the two factions is the legitimate leadership of the party, the Makarfi-led leadership has the right to initiate an appeal. Earlier, the court had ruled against an appeal filed by Senator Sheriff that the Makarfi-led leadership's appeal had been filed out of time.
The Supreme Court, decided over by the Honorable the Chief Justice of Nigeria, sat today. It's taking all the arguments, all objections, taken together with the substantive appeal, and judgment of the Supreme Court has been reserved.
What you are saying is that PDP did not authorize the filing of this appeal, and that on becoming aware that an appeal was lodged on its behalf, it proceeded to file a notice of withdrawal.
All parties will have to wait for the day the Supreme Court will deliver its verdict to end the leadership tussle in the opposition party. Amaka Okafor, Channels Television News.
Staying with legal matters, former First Lady Mrs. Patience Jonathan has succeeded in staying proceedings in the suit seeking the final forfeiture of the sum of $5.8 million seized by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The suit has been temporarily put on hold as her counsel, Mr. Michael Zekame, informed a federal high court sitting in Lagos today that the appeal on the interim order of forfeiture has been fixed for July the 5th and a stay of proceedings of the matter has been entered at the Court of Appeal. He added that the lower court cannot decide the merits of an appeal, saying that it would amount to an affront for a lower court to disregard the process the appellate court served on it. Consequently, the judge in her short ruling granted an adjournment in the matter for parties to air their views in the appellate court. She then adjourned to September the 24th to abide by the decision of the appeal court. The sum in question, which is the anti-graft agency alleged to be proceeds of crime, has been under several litigation. Against the backdrop of the alleged meetings between some politicians and military officers for undisclosed reasons, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives has ruled out the possibility of a military intervention in present-day Nigeria. Honourable Yusuf Lashun's comment is part of positions put forward today during a public hearing on 12 proposed amendments to the Electoral Act 2010. The presentation submitted to the House include issues on diaspora voting and the use of smart card readers in elections. Our correspondent Larry Lasisi has more.
Representatives of government agencies, civil society organizations, and other groups involved in the electoral process in the country are all gathered here in the House of Representatives. They're here for the public hearing organized by the House Committee on Electoral and Political Parties Matters on 12 proposed amendments to the Electoral Act 2010. While acknowledging that the 2015 elections was an improvement to past elections, the lawmakers say more needs to be done.
Experience has shown that good electoral system governed by an efficient and effective legal framework is an inescapable prerequisite for the conduct of free, fair, and credible election. Enthronement of good governance, which will ensure peace and stability in the polity.
Making his own remarks, the Deputy Speaker points out that democracy remains the best form of governance.
Having practiced democracy for 17 years unbroken, it's 18 years now, unbroken, I wouldn't know why some military people want to think that it is time again to come back to the governance of Nigeria. It's going to be a little bit difficult. Democracy at its worst is still the best form of government.
It is then time to hear from groups at the public hearing.
The Nigerian Bar Association also supports the inclusion of diaspora voting in the electoral process. However, the exact time and period and mechanics of its introduction and realization must be left to the electoral management body to decide.
We suggest that the amendment of the section to allow the use of any appropriate technological device in the accreditation and voting process. However, we must avoid naming the exact device in the law. As we are aware, technology keeps evolving and keeps changing.
It is very important that we have seen in this country a political party member leave his political party in the morning, in the evening he becomes a member of another political party. If you must leave your political party, it is very important that when you leave the seat in which you have advocated for right from the beginning, so that if you are that popular, then you can canvass for the population of Nigeria.
We are saying that political parties either in terms of their positions within the party structure or list of candidates for elections must include 35% women representation.
The Independent National Electoral Commission also made a submission to the committee. Now, the Senate recently amended some sections of the Electoral Act, and it is expected that the efforts being made here will eventually help in making sure that future elections are free, fair, and credible. Lanre Lasisi, Channels Television News.
The Benue State Governor, Mr. Samuel Otom, has signed a bill that will have trespassing herdsmen face 5 years in jail. Governor Otom disclosed this while signing into law the Benue State Open Grazing Prohibition Bill 2017 at the 4th stakeholders meeting at the Government House, Makurdi. This report looked at what this means for the state and perhaps the country.
Confusion, destruction, displacement, death. Trademarks of Fulani herdsmen attacks. And one state that felt the brunt of this is Benue, where wails became regular clamors that rang the air. The battle between herdsmen and farmers became so fierce that it took protests by residents for an urgent solution to be adopted, to put a stop to the mayhem. And this is what the State Assembly did with the passing of the grazing bill. To some members, it should not have taken this long.
It's something we've been anticipating, it's something we've been hoping for, it's something we want to do.
However, nothing is cast in stone until there is an influence to determine its outcome. And the state governor, Samuel Otom, is making it happen here at the 4th stakeholders meeting at the government house in Makarfi. He's signing several bills into law. Anti-kidnapping and terrorism, which carries a death sentence for offenders, and then the open grazing bill. With it comes a 5-year jail term for herdsmen caught trespassing on farmlands.
The law brings an end to the incessant clash between livestock herds, rearers, and crop farmers in the state, who, in an attempt to protect their respective interests, clash, kill, maim, and destroy persons and property.
Naturally, this move is applauded by indigents.
As for us who are farmers, that is a big plus, because now we can access our farms without fear of being killed or slaughtered or something.
But there is an appeal for clemency of time by the Fulani herdsmen to get their acts together in obedience to the law.
It's a matter of time. We are expecting the farmers to bear with them, let them look for ranches on or before, making sure that they could not go back and continue saying government said they should drive them away, then problem occur again.
Did lives have to be lost, properties destroyed, or people chased from their homes in the first place before this resolution came about? The answer to that question may just lie in the 2 words resonating from this move: never again.
The All Progressives Congress in Bauchi State has set up a fact-finding and reconciliation committee headed by Chris Ngige as chairman. During a courtesy visit to the state governor, Abdullahi Abubakar, Mr. Ngige is determined to get to the bottom of the crisis and file a report subsequently to the national body for further directives.
We have started sitting with them. We have sat with members of the National Assembly, led by the Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker Dogara. You know, he's the number 4 citizen of the country, and some senators, Senator Nazif, Senator Wakil, and the House of Rep members too. We've sat with them in Abuja. We've sat with the governor in Abuja. But we are here now at what the lawyers call locus impo, so that we can see the facts for ourselves in the place. So this is it, and you can now see that the party brought out a good mix for us, and we are making progress. Like I told you, we have identified some crucial areas that will be touched by the government, and some also important points that the legislators in the National Assembly will also touch, so that we can then move forward.